I Oh, well, yeah, first of all, so happy to be on this show. And yeah, welcome to Key West and the southernmost point beach resort, guys. Look at this bad boy. As we know, the key lime pie, unbelievable. And we're going to talk more about the original key lime pie as we kick off the Key Lime Festival. It begins tonight, runs all the way through July 4th. Look at the waters here, guys. Very muggy and humid, but man, is this a beautiful place. David Sloan, come on in, my friend. Very good co-founder of the Key Lime Festival, author. You got your books out here. You are a chef. But here's the thing, Bob, Marissa, everyone watching. What we know as key lime pie, you know, the key lime pie you buy at a restaurant or your grocery store, or perhaps you're skilled enough to make it home, is not the way it began at all.
Not at all.
Let's go over that because we're going to go through the journey the next couple hours of this festival. But tell me about the original key lime pie.
The earliest version of key lime pie, it started with hookers in Key West.
Hookers?
Hookers.
Okay, wait a second here. What are you talking about?
Now, that's what we called our sponge fishermen, because they'd go out for days at a time on their skiff, and they'd have these long hooks that they'd put down to pull up the sea sponges. And when they'd go out for several days, they brought different supplies with them. I mean, they'd bring Cuban bread so they could make a sandwich. They'd bring condensed milk, which was great nutrition. They had key limes, of course, which was for nutrition as well. It was like a vitamin. And then they had their coffee, all this other good stuff. But you know what happened after a couple of days out there? The Cuban bread.
Whoa, look at this.
Hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock. Oh my God, that actually hurts.
So what they do is they kind of crumble it up into their coffee cups. All right? And they were out there in the water. They didn't care if it got all messy. And then they take that and they take the sweetened condensed milk and they pour it right on top.
So what years are we talking about?
So sweetened condensed milk first popularized around 1856. It spread during the Civil War.
Okay.
So it was sometime right after that. And, you know, people would have been out there, they would have had both things and said, that's a good vitamin, and done the combination. And that's how it started to evolve. But after they pour this in to help
Come on in, Gary. Look at
loosen the bread, they'd probably collect some wild bird eggs, maybe some turtle eggs, things like that. They just crack those right in.
Now, what is that? What is that egg?
These are quail eggs.
Quail eggs.
But they were not picky. These sponge fishermen, they'd gather whatever was out there on the islands.
Okay.
And then squeeze a little bit of lime on top. And the lime creates that reaction. And once you have that in there, they just give it a big stir, right? And then, you know, it doesn't look real pretty from there, but they do that. And when you're out on the water, after fishing in the sun for hours and hours, this became quite the treat.
I got to tell you, I don't know who came up with it. Like, I know now you told me who came up with it, but how they thought this was going to be good. What were they thinking?
Well, they probably didn't want to squeeze the lime directly in their mouth.
Okay.
Because that's going to take all the enamel off your teeth. They wanted to stay healthy. That was very important for them to make a living. So what they do is they'd do the condensed milk and they'd do the lime. And here, why don't you give it a taste?
I will give this a taste.
You can see what it tasted like.
Okay, here we go. Well, I mean, first of all, let's take a look as close as we can at what I'm about to slurp up. This is not the key lime pie the Key Lime Festival has.
No.
This is completely historic, right?
The pie has evolved. This
Okay.
is the origins. We're going back to the earliest days.
The earliest. All right, let's take a sip of the quail egg and the condensed milk, the egg, and the bread. And okay, here we go. Oh, gotta tell you, if I were out on the sea and I took a sip of this, I think I might want to jump into the sea and end it all. Anyway, David, this is great. Thank you. I appreciate it. And guys, here's the deal. So we've just begun our coverage here, and I can hear this on speaker, so I'm going to put this back so I can hear it in my ear. So Bob, Marissa, everybody else, next hour, we're moving locations to the Avalon Bar, and we're going to make key lime cocktails, right?
Oh, yeah, we've got some incredible ones coming up. Joe is the master of the key lime cocktail.
I love it. And then after that, well, we're going to take this bad boy and see what I can do. I got to put a pair of goggles on, Bob, and Marissa, I'm going to shove my face in this and see exactly how intense I can make this all. But we'll see. Welcome to Key West, the Key Lime Festival, Independence Day, and thank God we're not slurping more of what we just made.
Oh, there's still time. The day is young.
Okay, maybe a little rum floater on top, brother. Yeah, back to you.
Robert, I'm not going to stop you from drinking that. I can't have you suffering from scurvy. Get that lime juice in you, man. That's all there is to it. Robert Ray down there live at Key West Lime
Yeah.
Festival. You scurvy dog, you.